And can you draw that kind of a straight line between your drawing and your painting and how that helps frame your brain, and then when it comes to solving those more businessy problems?
Yeah, I think so. Like, there's definitely, when you're creating fine art, I think you're training your mind to be creative, and you're working the creative muscles or whatever those things are that make people creative. So you're exercising them all the time, and then when it comes to a new situation, you're kind of ready to go in a way, even though it might be completely different context, right. But you've got the skills.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when you and I were talking before, Sarah, we were talking about the difference between art and design and whether there needs to be a difference, but share your manifesto on that.
This is like a question that artists and designers, it's a very tricky question. So it can be defined so many ways, and there's so many different conversations you could have about it. But often people are asked the question, what is the difference between design and art? And then this conversation can go on forever. But for me, art is something, the way I personally define it is, art is something you're creating for yourself, and it doesn't have to have a specific thing that it's communicating. So whoever's looking at it can interpret it the way they want to. And it doesn't have to say one specific thing. Whereas when I'm designing for a client, there is a very specific thing that they want the thing I'm designing to say. So design is something that has a communication purpose that's very specific, like something in particular that you're communicating that needs to be understood by the audience.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I did a blog post on the very similar thing, but I compared art and advertising.
Huh?
Because as some people may recall, a number of years ago, there was an ad that was run locally that created a rather large kerfuffle. And the defense of the ad was, well, you get to interpret it the way you want. And I said, not with an ad, no. An ad has to have, you're right, a mission, a purpose, an objective, and you're trying to communicate this. And art, the door's kind of open.